Hey everyone, John Henry here from School of Trade. Today we're going to be taking a look at a long setup here on crude oil, looking for a bounce back up to the upside here off of a kind of an exhaustive move that we're seeing from the sellers. I mean, my stop in place here. Now, in terms of what we're talking about here, first of all, we have the big $50 level, right? $50 coming in smack across there, and you can see how much that's messed price up every single time we've come back to that level. And now this time around, we faded off of the highs. The buyers failed to get a new high back here and fell down pretty hard. So initially, you'd be thinking, okay, well, we have a bearish sentiment. We should be falling lower, but the problem is they did it all in one move, right? The buyers had their chance to take the market back and they completely fell apart. But the problem is sellers don't want to sell way the heck down here. It's too far. So what they're going to do is they're going to look for a reason to get in farther up. They're going to want to sell right around where the buyers tried taking over because they obviously gave up. So that's a perfect place to look to get in for a short trade. But that's not all the way until up here. So this huge move down is quite exhaustive in that regard, especially coming off the fact that we're right at that $50 level. We have the prior week high at 50.10, the prior month high at 50.21. Lots of stuff all in this same area that should be kind of magnetizing price back up towards the top side. So the entry point, 50.03, looking for the stop at 49.94. And then I'm looking for a move up, really just to kind of go back up to the scene of the crime, if you will, right? Where the buyers gave up. They couldn't even trigger in buyers before turning back down. So I want to see the market come back to that level again. So that is going to be my major target right there. And then we'll front run it by a tick. I want to make sure that I get filled there. But outside of that, that's really kind of what we're looking for. We're looking at playing this move down with complete failure because the sellers fell apart. If the sellers were taking this and they were aggressive about it, they would have at least broken underneath that candle's low and continued down. Kind of like this back here, right? Nice strong move. They did break down. Buyers tried coming in, and then the sellers shoved it back lower again. We're not seeing that. We're seeing the opposite. We're seeing strength to the upside, which is kind of shutting down or negating the bearish argument. So in that case, we're looking for the upside, and we're looking for the target at 50.16. Seeing some nice strong up movement here. We're coming into our target, only a couple ticks away, one tick away. Let's lock the stop in nice and tight. I don't want to give any of this trade back. Now I'm going straight to break even just because I can't move it higher than that, right? If we go higher than that, then we start running into a problem. So there we go. We get the target filled. Beautiful move up. That's exactly what we were looking for in terms of that sort of exhaustive movement off of that big round number at $50. And a lot of times you'll get those kinds of moves or that type of movement at the end of a big move, right? They've spent all of their bullets. A good example is this up move. They spent everything they had in this swing up and it slams higher. They take a little bit of a break. And then it slams higher again just out of nowhere. It's completely detached from what's happened in that day and it's likely going to be a level of exhaustion. And then you see it fade back. It's the exact same thing that we're seeing down here. So just a beautiful fade off of essentially not believing the bears and pushing the market right back up to where the sellers are likely going to now want to begin selling in. This whole area now is an area of interest for the sellers. So I would be looking for a potential sell out of this area here. If we see the sellers come in, then we might have a nice opportunity to run this back down to the lows. But until that happens, that's going to do it for me. So just a beautiful trade, great example of exhaustion at play. If you have any questions about it, feel free to send an email to School of Trade. Don't forget to check out our trial at schooloftrade.com. And as always, we'll catch you next time.